Welcome, viewers, to tonight's Sleepover Nightmares, a trio of terrifying tales. In the heart of a dark, stormy night, a group of friends gathered, eager for a night of stories, games, and laughter. Unbeknownst to them, their chosen venue for a sleepover was about to become the stage for a series of chilling events that would test the bonds of their friendship. As the night unfolded, the atmosphere shifted from light-hearted fun to uneasy tension. The initial thrill of being together was soon overshadowed by a series of flickering lights that danced across the walls, accompanied by cold whispers that seemed to emanate from nowhere, setting a sinister tone for the evening. Amidst the unsettling ambience, a shadow loomed by the window. It was a dark figure, its outline barely discernible against the night sky, watching the group with an intensity that sent shivers down their spines. The sight of it alone was enough to silence their laughter, turning their anticipation into dread. The eeriness escalated when unexplained noises began to resound from upstairs. The thumps and creaks were out of place in the quiet house, compelling the bravest among them to investigate, only to uncover something far more terrifying than they could have imagined. Their attempts to lighten the mood led them to play with an Ouija board, hoping to contact the spirit world in jest. However, the message they received was anything but a joke. The board spelled out a warning that would herald the beginning of a night filled with horror, marking the start of their unforgettable ordeal. As the flickering candles cast an eerie glow, the group nervously placed their fingers on the planchette of the Ouija board, hoping for a harmless scare. However, the laughter quickly faded as they received a chilling message spelling out, "Leave now." The atmosphere thickened with dread, but curiosity anchored their feet to the floor. The night escalated when a shadow loomed by the window, its form too grotesque to be human. Panic ensued as they realized they were being watched. The shadow's presence was suffocating, and the air turned cold. Attempts to dismiss it as a trick of the light failed as the figure lingered ominously. Suddenly, the house was filled with unexplained noises upstairs, resembling heavy footsteps and a soft, malicious giggle. Armed with nothing but flashlights, they hesitantly investigated, only to find the hallway eerily empty. The realization that they were not alone in the house sent shivers down their spines. Their terror peaked when a blood-curdling scream shattered the silence of the night. It was a sound so horrifying that it seemed to freeze their very souls. The scream seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, leaving them paralyzed with fear. It was a clear warning, but escape seemed impossible. The group's unity began to fracture when one friend, the bravest among them, vanished without a trace. Searches yielded nothing but more questions. The house, with its malevolent air, seemed to mock their despair. Desperation took hold as they realized the gravity of their situation, trapped in a nightmare that was all too real. In the aftermath of the haunted sleepover, the group struggled to find normalcy. The terrifying experiences bonded them in a way nothing else could, yet the trauma also created an unspoken rift. Sleep became elusive, with nightmares replaying the horrors they had endured, a constant reminder of their ordeal. Reflections of terror consumed their conversations, each recalling minute details that the others had missed. It became their way of processing the fear, an attempt to make sense of the senseless. Yet in these reflections, a resolve formed among them, a determination never to let such horror define their lives. The story of the doll in the attic began innocently enough with a sleepover planned to explore old memories. The attic, a place of forgotten treasures, promised adventure. Little did they know, among those cobwebbed corners lay a forgotten horror, ready to awaken. The game of truth or dare, a staple of sleepovers, took a sinister turn when a dare led them to the attic. Eager for a thrill, they rummaged through old boxes until they stumbled upon the mysterious old doll. Its glassy eyes and eerie smile sent shivers down their spines, yet they couldn't look away. The moment the doll was disturbed, strange occurrences began to manifest. Lights flickered without reason, and a cold draft swept through the house, though no windows were open. It was as if the doll's curse had awakened, eager to envelop new victims in its grasp. The sleepover, once a source of excitement, now became a night of dread. After the mysterious old doll was discovered in the attic, strange occurrences began to escalate. The friends noticed the doll's eyes seemed to possess a life of their own, eerily following their every move. It was as if the doll was silently watching, its gaze never wavering, instilling a growing sense of unease among them. As night fell, the atmosphere grew thick with anticipation and fear. The once innocent sleepover was now overshadowed by the palpable presence of the doll. Laughter, devoid of joy and seemingly coming from nowhere, echoed through the dark corridors. It was a sinister sound that chilled them to the bone, a reminder of the doll's awakened curse. The terror took a more tangible form when one of the friends vanished without a trace. Panic ensued as they searched the house, calling out for their missing companion only to be met with silence. The doll's curse was no longer a tale. It had become their reality, claiming its first victim. Determined to confront this nightmare, the group decided to break the curse that the doll held over them. Their research led them to ancient rituals and desperate measures, all in the hope of finding a way to end the terror. It was a fight not just for survival, but for their very souls. The final showdown took place in the heart of the darkness, with the haunted doll at the center. Courage and fear collided as they faced the embodiment of the curse. Through sheer will and unity, they managed to break the doll's hold over them, marking the end of its reign of terror. The relief was palpable, but the scars of the night would forever linger in their memories. In their desperate bid for freedom, the survivors pooled their wits and courage, confronting the haunted doll that had terrorized their sleepover. The air was thick with tension as they enacted a ritual found in an old grimoire, hoping to sever the doll's connection to the physical world. The final showdown was a blur of shadows and whispers, the doll's malevolent presence fighting against the friends' determination. It was a battle of wills, with each side pushing the limits of their resolve. The doll's eyes glowed with an unholy light, but the friends stood firm, chanting the incantations with unwavering faith. At last, the air cleared, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The doll's eyes dimmed, its sinister aura dissipating into the ether. The friends, though exhausted, felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over them. They had broken the curse, freeing themselves from the doll's grasp. But the victory was bittersweet. The trauma of the ordeal would linger, an invisible scar that would remind them of the night they faced pure evil and survived. The memories of vanished friends haunted their dreams, a reminder of the price they had paid for their freedom. The story of the doll in the attic became a cautionary tale among those who dared to delve into the supernatural. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a warning of the dangers that lurk in the forgotten corners of the world. The dare to stay the night in the old, condemned house seemed like a thrilling challenge among friends. They entered, laughing and joking, but the atmosphere quickly changed as the sun set. Shadows stretched across the walls and an eerie silence enveloped the house, transforming their excitement into apprehension. As night fell, unusual phenomena began to manifest. Doors creaked open on their own. Cold drafts swept through closed rooms, and the flicker of ghostly figures could be seen in the corners of their eyes. The friends realized the house might truly be haunted, as whispers of its dark past began to surface. The ghost of a girl, pale and sorrowful, appeared before them. She seemed tethered to the house, her eyes filled with an unspoken sadness. The friends watched in a mix of fear and fascination as she floated before them, her presence a chilling confirmation of the house's haunted reputation. Seeking to understand her story, the group attempted to communicate with the spirit. Through a makeshift seance, they called out to her, and she responded. Her messages were fragmented, but they spoke of tragedy, a life cut short, and a soul unable to find peace in the afterlife. The seance, however, went horribly wrong. Instead of offering solace, it seemed to trap them further within the house's grasp. Doors locked themselves, windows refused to open, and the ghost's visage turned from sorrowful to sinister. The friends realized too late that they were not merely guests in the house, but prisoners of its haunted legacy. As the night wore on, the group realized they were trapped inside the old house. The doors that once opened easily were now immovable, sealed by an unknown force. Panic began to set in as the friends desperately searched for another way out, but it was clear the ghost didn't want them to leave. The haunting intensified, with the ghost's presence becoming more malevolent. Objects moved on their own, and chilling whispers filled the air. The temperature dropped drastically, and an oppressive feeling of despair washed over the group. They knew they had to find a way to appease the spirit if they hoped to survive. In a race against time, they scoured the house for any clue, any object that might hold the key to calming the restless spirit. In the eerie glow of their flashlights, they pieced together the tragic story of the girl who once lived there, hoping to find something that could help them make amends. The final night of their ordeal was the most terrifying. The ghost unleashed her full fury upon the friends, trapping them in a nightmarish reality. But amidst the chaos, they found a way to connect with the spirit, offering her the solace she had been denied. It was a moment of pure terror mixed with an unexpected empathy. As dawn broke, the haunting ceased, and the house released its grip. The ghost of the girl, finally finding peace, moved on to the afterlife. The friends, exhausted and forever changed, made their escape. They would carry the memories of that night with them, a reminder of the thin veil between the living and the dead. In the quiet aftermath of their harrowing adventure, the survivors of the last sleepover gathered, their expressions a mix of relief and disbelief. Reflecting on the night's terror, they realized the depth of their bravery and the unbreakable bonds of friendship formed in the face of otherworldly horror. This brings us to the end of our trilogy for this evening. We hope you have enjoyed our cautionary tales. If you would like to see more of our horror stories, please like and subscribe to our channel to enjoy more terror tales. For now, sleep well, viewer, and we hope to see you next time.